You said you have many crazy dating stories, like you dated influencers and billionaires.
Nice.
You're very opinionated. You can argue, but kind of have a unique stance. You think women I don't think women should work. That's what you said. Is that correct? Okay. You said you dated influencers and billionaires. Any influencers that you can reveal?
I think they wouldn't like that.
Can you tell us
Not
the genre?
super
Like
crazy.
TikTok?
Fitness.
Fitness?
Instagram.
And you said you dated billionaires, as
One,
in plural.
singular, sorry.
Okay, you use the plural in your messages here. So you dated a singular billionaire. Can you tell us what realm of industry he's in?
Real estate.
Real estate. How old is he?
30.
A 30-year-old billionaire. Okay, and he's in real estate. And you're 19? How old were you when you dated him?
18 is gross.
Why? Well, he was what, 29, and you were 18, right? You were an adult.
Yeah.
Why would that be gross?
I mean, my prefrontal cortex isn't developed.
So do you think women shouldn't vote at 18 then?
No.
So you can make political decisions that could lead to war, but you don't have the mental faculties to engage in consensual sex with another adult?
It's not really about that. I can form opinions about things that I read, but relationships are like in politics. Like I can read the news and understand that, but relationships are a lot more complicated.
So you can vote to elect a representative that would send people to war to die. You can buy a firearm. You can join the military, but you don't feel like you can engage in a consensual romantic or sexual relationship with another adult?
You interrupted me.
No, hold on. I'm the host of the podcast, therefore there's a higher conversational burden on me. So yes, I have a little more leeway to interrupt. Go ahead with your point.
I just meant because I was going to tell you my point.
Go ahead.
Interpersonal relationships are like a completely different realm. It's not just processing simple information and then making an informed decision. It's like, how do I explain it? I can't really explain it, but like I think it's totally different.
You can't explain your position?
You feel like he took advantage of you because he was older?
I'm not saying necessarily he did. I'm just saying I won't know how I feel about it until I'm older. It's feelings. That's what it is.
Yeah.
It's feelings.
You called
Politics
it gross.
shouldn't involve feelings. It does sometimes, but it really shouldn't if you're voting for the right people. But I mean, in relationship, there's feelings. You know, like you can be manipulated.
Could I just ask, like, outside of the politics of it, like, why do you think it's gross? Was it gross because the age gap? Was it gross because he did things? You don't have to specify, but, like, what was gross because...
Or was it gross because you dated a billionaire? What was in it for you?
I just think in general that, like, I was, like, a high schooler, you know?
So you were in high school?
I was, yeah, I was, like, naive. Like, I didn't know. Like, he could have been hurting me and I wouldn't have known.
Sounds like zero accountability to me, but...
I just personally think it's kind of weird, like being 25, almost like 26, I personally wouldn't date an 18-year-old because there's a very big maturity gap. So like that could be a reason. So I think like in that way it's a little weird because I personally wouldn't date someone a lot younger than me. Just because like thinking back when I was 18, like I was not developed at all. Like I didn't know a lot of things that I do now.
I mean, men and women are very different.
That's
so
true. But
In what way are you gonna? In what way? Tell me what way.
What way we're
different? In terms of age for you.
Well, in terms of what they're generally attracted to, women in general tend to date up, even if it's 1, 2, or 3 years.
Right.
And we see this is evidenced by, for example, marriage statistics. Women typically will marry someone, I don't know what the exact average is, but typically the average age of marriage for women is younger than it is for men. Andrew, do you have anything for this?
Yeah, so you're kind of talking about...
Sorry. Hold on. Sorry, Andrew.
538 donated $200. Gross BC may have to hashtag #MeToo_victim those biles.
Okay, Boneman53. Okay, Boneman.
What does that mean?
Appreciate it.
I don't understand.
I have something about that though. It's like, so you were saying like you wouldn't, you remember what you were like, and you're thinking back like, well, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah,
I wouldn't want to date a young chick because we don't have interests that are the same. I wouldn't. I don't even know what a lot of young women
It's
are
just
talking
very,
about
they're
most
very
of the time.
immature.
Yeah, I don't like it. However, I would imagine that a billionaire's motive of dating her was probably physical. Right?
Probably.
He's not looking to engage with her about the thing like finance or technology or any of those things.
And
why is his motive gross to date her, but her motive to be with a billionaire is was he super hot? I mean, was this guy like what was the right? So your motive might have also been physical, but also you're bragging that he's a billionaire now, even though you found that it was gross then. So you guys just had a nice little trade there. That's all that was. I don't think it's gross. I don't think he's a piece of shit for wanting to date a young chick.
I think that everything that you said is correct, but I think it's still completely valid for her to look back on that and find
think
it
it's
to be
weird.
gross.
Yeah.
It's
I think
completely
gross, I think a
valid.
little
It
weird.
can be all those things that you just said and still for her to
And
feel
I didn't
it's
judge her for it. I
gross.
just said, why is it gross? I asked why.
And-
What do
Andrew,
but when you say valid, what do you mean by valid? Like, just how she feels about it? She can feel valid
just
about
asked
it,
her
or
why I
can't she
used
feel
the word
valid
Hold on,
about
hold on,
anything?
please let him talk.
Yeah, can't she
Sorry.
feel valid about anything? Like, what does that mean? That's
she's-
totally a meaningless statement.
No, if she's looking back at it, and I know there's like a source of like intimidation here. She's probably the youngest person here right now.
Well, hold on. What?
It's a little bit of an intimidation. I think we went around the table and you immediately started harping on the young girl who said
Well-
that she was uncomfortable with the billionaire.
Well,
And
hold on.
know
I
you're
don't like.
sensitive.
I do not like your the way you are painting this interaction here. I started with her. I asked
Yeah.
her what her status is.
And
You
you're like,
two are in
"Ah,
relationships.
acceptable."
He's going through.
I'm going around asking people to delve further into their.
I think his feelings are valid.
Yeah.
I totally agree.
I think everyone's.
I
feelings are
think you're
valid.
so right. There's no disagreement. You're so allowed.
Andrew,
to feel
did you
that
want to
way.
continue with?
Yeah, let me. Sorry.
Yeah, I was trying to figure out what you meant when you said it's valid. So if everything he says about this is true, you say, but you're just talking about her feelings in general, right? So how she feels, you think that's going to be valid regardless of what the fact of the matter is?
Totally. I think there's a if someone is feeling a certain way, I think they're totally, if she's looking back at it and she's like, you know what, that was really gross, that made me feel really uncomfortable. It probably did feel gross and uncomfortable. Is that the situation at hand objectively? Who knows? But if that's how she feels personally, that's how she views the situation.
That's why we asked why.
And that's you ask why.
Yeah, just said, why do you feel
1000%.
gross? It
There's
wasn't a
nothing
judgment
wrong.
at all.
There's nothing wrong with you questioning it, and there's nothing wrong with her answering it. But I think that's it.
I feel like
Yeah, but you could see where the confusion would come in if we're trying to get to the fact of the matter. And instead of the fact of the matter, you kind of chime in with, what about her feelings, though? Well, we're just
It
trying to get to
definitely
the
did not
fact of the
say,
matter.
What about her feelings?
you guys are- you
That's
guys are
why I
trying to
asked you
say-
specifically what
you
you
guys
meant
are
by
trying to-
valid.
yeah.
And what you meant by valid was how she feels,
Where
right?
do I look when he's talking? Like, where is he?
Go straight up.
Like you can hear me, so like answer the question.
Look to the
You
heavens.
told me what
Look
like
to the
valid
heavens.
meant, and like valid just meant like feelings, right?
Can I talk?
Go ahead. Yeah, it's your thing. I'm
Yeah,
sorry
talk
to
for
speak on your
yourself.
behalf.
Also, I'm going to talk to her the same way whether she's 18 or 19.
And
or
you
what.
should.
Well, but you suggested maybe we shouldn't because she's
Never-
a young girl.
Never once said that.
You said that he
Never
targeted
once-
in on her because she's the youngest.
Okay, let me say.
I
can
definitely
talk?
do. There is.
But I don't care what fucking age she is. I'm just
It's not because of age.
Yeah.
No, but I think
Talking
there
to
is a
her?
level of vulnerability that I think she has that most of us probably don't at the table, and you guys know that. Come on.
I feel like a lot of words are being put in my mouth from both sides, but I also agree with both sides, and I also think that
It's gonna be a long show, folks.
with this conversation, like I think, like after hashing through it with you, like I do kind of change my opinion a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. I do kind of change my opinion a little bit after hearing your guys's. But I think that first of all, I didn't say uncomfortable, and so yeah, I think that's all I have to say actually.
Okay. All right. So you were dating a billionaire. How did you meet him? Was it a dating app?
Tinder.
Tinder. Okay.
A billionaire was on Tinder.
I know what. Yeah, it was crazy.
How do you
it
know
was
he
so
was
weird.
a billionaire? Did he have a Wikipedia page?
He had a literal row of mansions that his entire family lived in separate houses on.
Oh, he's got family wealth. Okay.
Yeah, he didn't. He never.
Oh, so he's like a trust fund kid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right.
Well, that's billionaires.
Wait. So okay.
And real estate.
So okay, and so you met on Tinder. You were 18. He was 29 at the time.
30 and then 31.
Oh, okay, I see. And so how long were you seeing him for?
6 months.
6 months. Okay. And given that he was a billionaire, did you kind of reap any benefits from that in terms of, was he kind of like a sugar daddy? Was it a sugar daddy thing kind of?
No, I never got any money, but it would just be fun stuff. Like I'd be like, you know, it'd be fun right now, air hockey. Immediately air hockey table, just like wherever I am at the moment is now there.
Isn't it, it's kind of amazing to me, like an 18-year-old girl is dating a billionaire. Like that's good for you. Just
Can we
that's,
go back to the air hockey thing real quick? But did you just say that your motivation was what was really cool about it was anywhere you could go, there would just be air hockey there for you?
No, I just think that's one of the interesting things. That wasn't the main draw. I'm not like that air hockey focused, but
That's a great sentence.
I'm just saying as far as perks go, that it wasn't like all perks. That wasn't why I was there, but as far as perks go.
Were you living with him?
No.
Okay. Would he take you on trips? Would you guys vacation together?
He like did not talk to anyone or go anywhere. We went on like local trips though.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Nothing. Yeah.
So you could have just been essentially dating an average dude. Like it was the same exact, your lifestyle didn't change in any way because you were dating a billionaire.
I think
Maybe his house was nice. I don't know.
I was just like getting what I want on request is like so fun.
Wait, what?
Getting what I want on request is so fun.
Like, what are some examples of that?
Yeah, I'm curious about that.
Well, first of all, air hockey.
Air
table.
hockey.
Air hockey,
Just
yep.
said.
I
Did
really
they
liked
just like, did they
alcohol
just
at the
carry
time.
around an air hockey table for you? Or?
No, I was just using that as an example.
Okay.
But like, I liked alcohol at the time. I could get that. Also, that's kind of weird that I was 18 and this dude's just like giving me as much liquor as I want.
Were you asking for?
Yeah. I'm not saying it's
Okay.
super weird. I'm just saying it's a little bit weird.
I certainly wouldn't advise men over 21 buying alcohol for.
It is illegal actually, so it's a little bit weird.
Yes.
I
I
think
feel
it's
like
gross.
this
But you-
doesn't require billions of dollars, though. What are the billion
just-
dollar perks that you were getting?
Him being a billionaire sounds like it was totally secondary.
It was like one.
it didn't even.
It was like 1 billion. It wasn't like a million billion, you know?
That's still a lot.
That's still a lot of
more
a lot of money.
Dang.
Yeah, it was like it'd be like $7,000 hotel room, or like a Bentley, and I'm allowed to drive it really fast.
Wait, so okay, you're 18, you dated a billionaire. How do you go from dating a billionaire to dating a broke college guy? Like, there's no
Oh
going
my
back.
God.
I don't
No,
think
my
you can go
standards
back.
Are so high, it's really great for me. I actually cut off like so many people. Like no one's allowed to be mean to me now.
Wait, hold on.
Wait.
So after dating the billionaire, just so I'm clear, after dating the billionaire, now your standards are elevated to what?
It's not really about money.
Just the treatment, I guess?
But I mean, sometimes it's about money. If it was like, it's kind of like if you were to think of it entirely transactionally, there's like different aspects. There's attractiveness, there's like your ability to have sex, there's your personality, and then there's money, you know? So it's like you have to have a certain number of some of those stats. You don't have to have all of them.
Okay. All right.
Well, I think it was valuable enough that like she gets to say she dated a billionaire. That's obviously a big thing, right, for someone.
Is that a flex?
Not, I mean,
Is it a
girls
flex?
talk about it all the time. We're
I
talking
wasn't
about it on this podcast, so that's some sort of worth to that.
I wasn't trying to flex. You more just asked me a question, and I was like, this is interesting. So I answered with that.
I think I'm
No,
not
I
judging
wasn't-
you for it.
I wasn't saying you were trying to flex, but I don't know if it's a flex. Like, I one time dated a billionaire who I no longer see, and I also think it was gross. That's probably not like.
No, I think that you asked her, do you have anything interesting that you've done? And then she said, well, I dated a billionaire. And then how wasn't? She goes, well, looking back, it was gross.
I like that you're like, are you her lawyer or something? Like, are you
No.
her advocate? Hello?